Good morning to each and every one of you. We are about to get started. I want you to go ahead and prepare yourself for the conversation that we're going to be having. I don't know whether we are wrapping up the optimization conversation or not today, but I'm going to do today, and then I'll know by Wednesday at 7 p.m. Every single Sunday, I'm with you at 8 a.m. and on Wednesday at 7 p.m. and then Tuesday through Friday for 8 a.m. prayer. So I do not know which way we're going to be going into December, if we're going to stay here or not. But I'm definitely going to attempt to finish the conversation on the optimization of the brain and mind. And today we're going to finish what we started last Sunday and talked about on Wednesday. If you're just watching this right now and you didn't see last Sunday and you didn't see this past Wednesday, it may seem as though I'm taking you really fast. Well, I would like to invite you into Patreon, patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Become a part of that. It would be good probably to sign up for the year, and you'll be able to be connected to me when I'm in these series, and I may not come in the public like I am today and even let you in on what has been discussed, but I'm telling you, it's always going to be something that is good for you and good for your growth, the growth of you, the growth of your business, the growth of your relationships, every aspect of your life. So I'm going to go into the teaching this morning. We are about to get started. Take a moment, hit like and hit share as you are coming in. Somewhere along the teaching, I'm going to end it on Facebook, and we'll just be on YouTube to close out. All right. So we are about to get started. Go ahead right now and prepare yourself for the conversation.
Looking for a vibrant community where faith meets empowerment? Welcome to the LRL community on Patreon. Here you'll gain access to our financial wellness plan to level up your money game and build your immune system, health and wellness lifestyle plan to keep your health in check. But that's not all. With the groundbreaking AIR project, we're creating jobs in Africa beginning in Ghana. Plus, you'll unlock insider tips from senior executives across industries. And the best part? Be part of daily prayers, weekly coaching sessions with Dr. Larry Reid himself, and so much more. It's time to connect, grow, and thrive. Get the apps, grab the merch, and join us at patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Let's build something amazing together. The LRL community is waiting for you.
I know you've been having some dreams, and I want to help you understand your dreams. I've been interpreting dreams for many years. Some of your most favorite people have came to me by night to find out, what does this mean? And so what I've done, I've developed a chat GPT. Go right now and download the MBN Network app. And when you go in there, look for the dream guide from the side. Click it, and it's going to integrate with your chat GPT. And whenever you've had a dream, write it up in your notes, then copy and paste inside the chat GPT. And in my voice, with my awareness, clarity, and insight, and years of expertise, this chat GPT is going to tell you the truth about the mind movie, the thought you had while you were sleeping. See, dreams always mean something. And I want to help you understand what it means. There's a hidden message, something about the future, something about the past, something that is happening right now. It's like an envelope from heaven that you need to open and read. And I want to help you read that letter, get into the coding and decode so that you can see what you were meant to see come into reality. I'll see you later. I'm waiting for you in my GPT so I can speak directly to you.
too much for me. Wanna thank you for the life you give me. Steps I take really is amazing to me. Always there for me. God, it really don't play about me. Don't play about me. God really don't play about me. God really don't play about me. No, he really don't play about me. Really don't play about me. God really don't play about me. No, he really don't play about me. About me, don't play about me. Don't wanna be to me, but I feel all my enemies really underestimated me. I'll sit back, I'm gonna watch them all. One by one they'll fall, and nobody answered their call. God, it really don't play about me. Don't play about me. God really don't play about me. God really don't play about me. No, he really don't play about me. Really don't play about me. God really don't play about me. No, he really don't play about me. God, it really don't play about me. Don't play about me. God really don't play about me. God really don't play about me. No, he really don't play about me. Really don't play about me. God really don't play about me. No, he really don't play about me.
I'm glad to see that so many of you are still inspired by that song that was released, I think it's a year and a half ago now. And there have been other songs that had came out. There's one by Pastor Mike Jones or Mike Jr., and it has a hook in there about God Don't Play About Me. And I'm so glad to have been able to inspire that and inspire anyone that listens to the song, because it's filled of inspiration. And it is my endeavor to create more music to just make you think positive thoughts and to put mantras in your mind that can write themselves in your subconscious. So then it can begin to change how you speak to yourself. And when you're not talking and when you're not communicating, what is that looped thought? What is being played in your head? Music has a way of getting into your brain and getting into your mind, which literally the mind is the biggest component of the soul. Music has a contract with the soul that cannot be broken. So music always gets in. You can't keep music out of your mind. Music gets in your mind. It affects the world of your emotions and your thoughts. And actually that sort of walks me into our conversation is in the optimization of your brain and of your mind, what your brain and mind is feeding on, you're in control of. So when you're in that intensity of the rewrite, and we all here that have prophetic callings and a future that we are steering our life into, we understand the importance of getting the brain and the mind, the prophetic mind, aligned and in partnership, because it has to happen if manifestation is going to take place. And so we understand the hygiene mentally, the hygiene in our dome piece, our brain and our mind, that we are going to have to be a yes to, or the future can be foiled. The future could be missed. It cannot come to pass if you and I don't change into the person psychically, mentally, that we need to be in order for the future to unfold, for not just for us, but through us. So the brain and the mind is going through a recalibration. And this is something that we have initiated And this is also something that Spirit is willing that we begin to optimize in the world of our thinking and of our mind. Let me read this as a prophetic overlay that we begin to talk about optimization October the 1st. I think it was actually the last day of September. And we are still in that energy of optimization, because optimization is one of the key aspects of this seismic global shift. The shift is undergirded by many pivots and changes that you and I have had to make amongst our team and in our ministry, in our business, household, family. There have been so many changes that have taken place in 2025. Now, optimization is how you optimize those changes and pivots and the shift that you are in, the middle passage. We're not where we were, and we're not yet in the form of the future, but we are being transformed and reformed. That is going to upgrade the form that we are, so that we are fit for the future. And it's happening to you. It's already started. No, I haven't been here. This is my first time heard. It don't matter if you heard the teaching or not. Those that have heard the teaching got tools, they got insight, they really ended up with foresight and got ahead of the game. But if you're listening to me right now, I can catch you up in this one live. If you just lock into the energy through which I am speaking, you will be caught up. So optimization literally means that I begin to get in the shape, the vibration, the frequency, the posture position, and embrace the processes that will cause my life to be much better than before. It's about looking into the future and saying, okay, that's what I want, and that's what I want to be. And then embracing different processes and allow yourself to be probed so Spirit can make you a fit for what is to come. And this is an excruciatingly painful process. Optimization is not easy. There's some cutting, there's some pruning, there's some recalibration, there's some carving and some correction that happens in optimization. There's a little bit of a war that can be in your own members in optimization, because it's time to get better. It's time to be your best self. It's time to expand and produce. It's time to upgrade and really get into that new form and become that. So optimization isn't just this amazingly easy process and that's all fun. No, it's not when optimization is happening. Now, there's a prophetic overlay that I want you to remember. So let me read that. We are in a seismic global shift. Now, shift is psychological too, and this is why we're discussing the brain and the mind. This is a divinely timed disruption that's shaking systems, nations, and mindsets from their old foundation. In neuroplasticity, we have learned that the brain really gets locked into its position that it desires to stay in somewhere between late 20s and the early 30s. Adolescence scientifically doesn't pay attention to that number 18. The brain doesn't fully mature until mid to late 20s, and some as late as early 30s, to where the brain gets into the posture and position that it feels like it needs to get in order to protect you, make sure you survive, and get through life. So from that point on, every day, the brain and the mind is rethinking the thoughts, at least 60 to 80% of the thoughts from the day before. Your behaviors are affected. 90% of your behaviors come out of what's in the programming in your subconscious. Most people hear prophecy, speak prophecy, pray prophetically, read their Bible here and there, but they're not in the work in the renewing of the mind. The work of the renewing of the mind is a multi-layered process that you and I must embrace, or we're just going to let the prophecy and the hope of fulfilling the dream live in our mouth. It will never be our reality if our brain and mind doesn't shake hand and begin to work as partners so that we can function in the future that we know that is impending. Okay, let me finish reading this. So yeah, your mind and your brain is letting go of the O, L. In neuroplasticity, we see that we are actually able to begin to rewire and redirect the mind and build new neurological pathways. And we can do that intentionally and strategically and getting our mind and brain set for the world that we're going into. But we have to do work there. So at the same time, old systems are shaking. The old systems of your brain, the old systems of your mind and your thinking are all been shaken. Okay. What was built on illusion, exploitation, and inefficiency is collapsing, and what is aligned with divine intelligence is being refined, restructured, and reestablished. Optimization is not optional in this shift. Optimization is not optional in this shift. I said optimization is not optional in this shift at Durno. It's not. This is where we are. This is what is happening. You cannot stop it. You cannot stop it. It is happening. Optimization is not optional in this shift. It is the key element that determines who survives the shaking and who thrives after it. The optimization is qualification for manifestation. And one of the key aspects, and we have done all this month, but we really are stuck at the optimization of the brain and the mind, and it's a great place for us to be. And we are literally being changed into a different people. All right, so last week we talked about neuroplasticity. And for those of you that are just coming into the conversation, I want you to understand that science thought that the brain just gets set and it just stays what it is until or unless you and I do some serious work. We'll have a serious trauma. They believe that it was just difficult for the brain to change itself, but as technology unfolded, they see now that the brain isn't concrete, it's plastic. That was the term they came up with long ago, because the brain was like plastic. So you can mash it, you can turn it, you can shift it. It was moldable, maybe even mutable. And so they came up with the term that described when the brain begins to rewire itself. And they say, okay, neurologically, the brain is plastic. So that's where the term neuroplasticity comes from. It literally is the rewiring, the brain's ability to rewire and reshape itself. Its ability to remind. That's what remind. When people telling you something that you forgot, they're reminding. What they're doing, they're reiterating that thought process, that pattern in the mind. And the brain does the exact same thing. So when you begin to do a new habit, or you begin to do a new action, or you begin to speak a new word, in the brain, you begin to cause certain neurotransmitters to go off, and certain movement and certain electrical charges start going down pathways that are in the brain. And it's extremely important for you to know and remember that you have the power to do the rewrite in the dome piece. You absolutely can. And it's important for you to do it because you want the optimization of the brain and the mind to continue. Because when the brain is optimized, it has high focus, it has emotional calm, it has memory recall, and creative ideas, they increase. There's no mental lag, no mental fog, there's no overthinking, there's no overthinking loops, thought loops. And some of you are dealing with that as you are attempting to expand and grow your business and in your relationships. And you're having difficulty, and it's coming from the brain that hasn't been optimized. And as you are in this work, remembering neuroplasticity and divine neuroplasticity, that means God gets involved in the process. We invoke him to get involved in the process. Embracing this and beginning to work this and understand this reality, it's going to make you ready for what is to come. And that scattered brain and scattered mind and feeling like you don't have a sense of guidance, all of that's just wrapped up in this teaching and this concentration on neuroplasticity. And this is why you need to be with me also Tuesday through Friday, because in the morning, making certain declarations help rewire and create new pathways for the brain. I played this video for you on last week, and I'm gonna play it for you again, then show you another video where it mentions some key ways for you to rewire the brain. We're gonna do that this morning, and I have the help of Dr. Tracy Marks, who's a Black woman online. I follow her on YouTube. So I'm gonna play a portion of a video where she gives you these 3 factors that can help boost neuroplasticity, but I'm gonna give you 8, okay? So first, let's watch the video from last week. I think this is it right here, to just understand this a little bit more.
Not so long ago, many scientists believed that the brain did not change after childhood, that it was hardwired and fixed by the time we became adults. But recent advances in only the last decade now tell us that this is simply not true. The brain can and does change throughout our lives. It is adaptable, like plastic. Hence, neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity. How does neuroplasticity work? If you think of your brain as a dynamic, connected power grid, there are billions of pathways or roads lighting up every time you think, feel, or do something. Some of these roads are well-travelled. These are our habits, our established ways of thinking, feeling, and doing. Every time we think in a certain way, practice a particular task, or feel a specific emotion, we strengthen this road. It becomes easier for our brains to travel this pathway. Say we think about something differently, learn a new task, or choose a different emotion. We start carving out a new road. If we keep travelling that road, our brains begin to use this pathway more, and this new way of thinking, feeling, or doing becomes second nature. The old pathway gets used less and weakens. This process of rewiring your brain by forming new connections and weakening old ones is neuroplasticity in action. The good news is that we all have the ability to learn and change by rewiring our brains. If you have ever changed a bad habit or thought about something differently, you have carved a new pathway in your brain and experienced neuroplasticity firsthand. With repeated and directed attention towards your desired change, you can rewire your brain.
Anytime you learn a new bit of information and hear something said, especially if it's said in a different way or maybe by a different person, the brain begins to tag that and say, okay, this is different. But what the brain does is either try to make what you heard confirm something that you already think in your brain or in your mind. That's the action that the brain, and when it can't find that, then it wants to throw it away. So this is why you have to hear the new plan, the new direction, the new teaching. You heard something that's moving you into deconstruction and into decolonization. Deconstruction and decolonization are just words under the optimization of the brain and the mind and the rewiring of the brain and the neuroplasticity. All of that is connected. Neuroplasticity is something we have to consider when it comes to decolonization and deconstruction, because it literally is getting the mind separated from an old way of thinking and thought patterns and those loops and beliefs that are solidified. When you begin to think a new thought and have a new bit of information that you're chewing on mentally, and something begins to happen in the brain, that's neuroplasticity. Okay. All right. So make sure you go back and listen to last Sunday, because you may be feeling like, okay, he's talking around stuff, but he's not hitting it. That's because I already done hit it on last Sunday. Go watch last Sunday. And then on Wednesday, it was near Thanksgiving. So we talked about gratitude as relates to neuroplasticity and how gratitude is a powerful tool in rewiring the brain and literally getting us into a great flow in our mind. Yeah. So you hear me say brain, you hear me say mind. People use them interchangeably, but I'm not. I know what both of them are. So if I'm talking about the brain, you hear me use certain language, and the mind. And there's really minds. There's the conscious and the subconscious and the unconscious. And with the brain, we're looking at the parts: prefrontal cortex, the amygdala, the medulla oblongata. We also look at the hippocampus. We look at the reticular activating system. That's the ROS system that is in the brain stem that's connected to certain parts of the brain. So we've had that conversation already. I want you to get in on that conversation, but you're going to have to go back and watch, because I got to move forward now. Now, we want to trigger up some neuroplasticity. We want to rewire the brain. We want to get our brain used to thinking new thoughts. Your brain doesn't like to shift. It doesn't like to shift. You have to train it to be plastic. The brain is wired for pattern recognition and survival, not transformation. So you're going to have to get into the work of this neuroplasticity and really programming the brain and the mind. That means you're going to have to research and data collect. You have to change some patterns, some habits. You have to go into your news feed on your phone, and you have to forget some stuff and start following certain platforms, because you cannot rewire the brain and the mind and you're still setting the same stuff in front of your eye gate. You're going to have to really get involved with changing what is coming in, the information, what you've been inundated with, so that you can maintain these new neurological pathways that are being formed as you are deconstructing and as you are optimizing your money, as you are optimizing your relationships, as you are optimizing your team, and you're changing the structure of your business. If you want to stay in that new space, and then mentally, you're going to have to change, because it's that you're dealing with two different frequencies. The frequency of your news feed. I want to ask you, when you go to your IG and your Facebook and you start going through, what is the frequency of that? And you should be sensitive to that. You're a spiritual person, you should know. That's one of the reasons why I don't watch porn, because of the frequency that is on porn. For me, there was a very evident something that happened when I watched porn. I could feel it in my head. And when I watched too much of it, it's like I felt like maybe I had on like something over here just closed down. Although I'm interacting and talking, my mind is just being rummaged through with these images of whores and watching sex in the way that it's not supposed to happen between two humans that don't know each other, that's just going after the climax. That's not how sex is supposed to be used. It's supposed to be between two people that have a connection. And it's supposed to be something that when you do psychologically, mentally, in your brain and in your mind, you should be better. Your soul should be better, not just a physical release, but it should be fully fulfilling. You see, so that energy that will be on the point and what will make my mind feel is the reason why I stopped, because it was not good for me. And not did I not just stop, y'all. I created new neurological pathways in my brain that does not like it and don't get anything out of it. That took a lot of work. Now, and I told y'all this before, I'm saying it again. Now you probably hear it in a different way. I said that I'm not putting that on the spirit and what God and delivered. I said, no, I just began to retrain my brain. I said, knowledge is how I broke that hold on porn. Anybody been following me for decades? No, I said that. And that's neuroplasticity. I had to change how I viewed sex. I viewed sex too low, and I looked at people just for their body part, just for their chest meat, just for their camel toe print, just for how the booty move when you walk, just that low vibrational stuff, just the outside. So I had to rewire my brain. I had to do some work with my mind to where it changed the way I viewed sex and changed the way that I viewed other people and their body. I didn't reduce people to their body parts that were attractive in the way that I liked them. Even speaking about it now, I'm like, Larry, what the hell were you thinking? Was a slave to actually your trauma, my rape, my molestation. There were some things that happened in my brain then. And then I began to reiterate those pathways that were created through that experience by my own actions with porn and being promiscuous. And that solidified those pathways. So then when I began to read about what porn does, and I began to read about, what can happen psychologically to people given to one night stands all the time, and even people who are self-pleasuring themselves, I began to say, okay, this is interesting. The knowledge pulled me out of it, because I do love myself. I absolutely love myself. I haven't always loved myself at the depth that I do now. So I've grown in the love of myself. So I respect me, and I absolutely love me. People say they love me. I ain't too sure. Like you guys, I told y'all, my trust is gone as relates to new people. And so it took work to rewire this brain. And so just like we saw in that video, those new pathways that get made as you're doing something new, because the brain is just not wired for transformation. So you have to retrain it. And that's plasticity. Because of plasticity, you can do it neurologically. Okay. Neuroplasticity is what? Creating new neural pathways. We intentionally create them by doing repeatedly new actions, new words, and new thoughts. That's how you create a new neurological pathway. And you can do it. You can reprogram your mental operating system. And remember that this work that you are doing is really setting yourself up to be a fit for what is coming, because you're healing and training the brain at the same time. You're healing from the trauma and from the old way of being. And then you are giving it its healing. And now your brain is going to be supporting you and your mind in the formation of your future. You ever notice if you go and you buy you a new car, and then you get back on the road and you start sending the car everywhere? Well, that's because of the reticular activating system. The reticular sits in the brain stem and goes up through the brain. it tags and it highlights, because you had the experience of that car. Now your reticular activating system is looking for it everywhere. They were all on the road before, but now it's been tagged by the RAS, reticular activating system. So how can I create new neurological pathways? Give myself a new experience. Look at things in a different way, and then affirm it over and over and over. Then the reticular activating system is going to scan your environment regularly, looking for the things, your life, your conversations, going to be looking for the things that confirm how great you are. You see how that thing works? You keep affirming your success, then new opportunities are going to appear. The opportunities were already there. It's just that you are affirming to your brain and to your mind success and successful opportunities. And then those opportunities show up. They were already there. They just appeared for you because of the work that you did on your brain and on your mind. Are you understanding that? Okay. Let me get out of that because I get too long, and I can really just sum everything up and get into this number 1 through 8, because we're going to discuss the things that boost neuroplasticity. So let's listen to Dr. Tracy Marks, and she's going to give you 3. I'm going to discuss those 3 that she mentioned, the 3 things that can boost neuroplasticity, and then I'm going to give you 5 more. Let's watch.
Is neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout your life. When you repeat certain thoughts or behaviors, you create well-worn pathways in your brain. The exciting part is you're not stuck with those pathways. Neuroplasticity means that you can always create new paths, and this ability is necessary for learning, personal growth, and building resilience. It's about shaping your mind to adapt and thrive in the face of life's challenges.
Did you hear that? It is necessary for personal growth. How many here want to grow personally? How many is on the personal growth journey, on the business growth journey, on the health growth journey? How many of you in the chat? This here is essential and key, is that brain is creating new neurological pathways. How does this work in the world of the prophetic? Okay, you receive a prophetic word, you hear what, and this, Dominique Jones has told me this. Something happened in her life, and immediately she remembered the prophetic word. That's because she had listened to the prophetic word over and over and over. Now, I know this is happening to many of you because I prophesy to you guys all the time. There's nothing coming up in your life that you haven't heard a prophetic word. If you're giving yourself the opportunity of engaging me in Shamako, a prophetic word that's giving you some direction before that thing happened. Listening to that prophecy over and over and being attentive is important, not just for your spirit to grab and flesh out, but for your brain to grab and flesh out. You need your brain and mind in the fruition of your prophecy. If you're going to hold your prophecy comes that you're going to be wealthy. You become wealthy. You can end up back broke or poor again if you ain't done that brain and that mind work. You have to continually rehearse the new thing, even when it comes to your prophecy. All right. So if you're on a journey of healing and growing, then neuroplasticity, this is key. All right, let's keep going.
Growth and building resilience. It's about shaping your mind to adapt and thrive in the face of life's challenges. For decades, scientists believed that the brain structure was fixed after childhood, but functional imaging has advanced, and newer research has shown that our brains continue to change and adapt well into adulthood. This shift from a fixed brain to a plastic brain model has revolutionized our understanding of brain function and mental health. Neuroplasticity gives you the power to influence your brain structure and function through your experiences and behaviors. Neuroplasticity does work both ways. So negative thinking and behaviors also reinforce certain pathways.
Now, this is the reason why it's important to be connected to the right people, to be in the right environments. That even includes your family, because being around family, familiar ain't always your friend as relates to the forming of your future, because what is familiar brings some level of comfort, and comfort is also an enemy to success. You have to intentionally give yourself to connections, circles, and groups that support the change of your brain and don't consistently reinforce the old pattern and the old mindset. No. There was something that I recognized on Thanksgiving Day that I would not have been able to recognize had I not been doing the work on my brain and on my mind and optimizing and right sizing and been in all those transformative processes. I would not have been able to recognize it on Thanksgiving Day had I not been in transformative work, personal transformative work. I would have started another cycle. Who knows how many months or years that would have lasted of putting myself in a situation to where I am carrying the load of many or for many. No. That's over. And I'm so thankful that I was able to sense it, smell it. I just got a familiar feeling, a familiar feeling that creeped me out. I said, oh no, I'm not about to do this. No. No, not no. No, not Larry. No, not me. But the only reason why I was able to recognize it is because I had created a new neurological pathway in my mind and in my brain. The neurological pathway is made in the brain. But I had done the work on my brain and on my mind. And because of that, I was like, oh no, that ain't not working. And then something happened on yesterday that was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I have done some transformative work, and it just has me in a whole nother space. That means you are no longer a fit for what was. You're no longer a fit for what used to be and what brought you comfort before and what you liked before. Now you own something else. You own something else now. That's a good thing. You did some work. You did some necessary work. Okay, let's continue to listen.
Neuroplasticity does work both ways. So negative thinking and behaviors also reinforce certain pathways in the brain. However, once you start replacing those negative habits with positive ones, the new pathways begin to take over, helping you become more mentally strong and adaptable. To understand how neuroplasticity works, let's look at the basics of brain structure. Your brain consists of billions of neurons, which are the cells responsible for processing and transmitting information. These neurons, or nerve cells, communicate with each other through connections called synapses. When you learn something new or have a novel experience, your neurons form new connections or strengthen existing ones. And this process is called synaptic plasticity. The more you repeat an action or thought, the stronger the neural pathways become. It's like creating a well-worn path in your brain. Several key brain regions are involved in neuroplasticity. The hippocampus, which is important for memory formation and spatial orientation, which is the ability for you to be able to tell how your body's positioned in space. Then there's the amygdala, which is involved in emotional processing and fear responses. And then the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for higher order thinking and decision making. And these areas work together to process new information, form new memories, and adapt to changing environments. Several factors can impact your brain's plasticity. There's your age. Even though neuroplasticity occurs throughout life, it tends to be more pronounced in younger brains. That said, even older adults can benefit from activities that promote plasticity.
Y'all, do you hear that? Activities that promote plasticity. Not them crazy raggedy games you keep playing on that phone over and over, unless they're brain games. If they're brain and memory games, great. Do that. Keep thinking that over and over, okay? All right.
And then there's lifestyle factors. Sleep, nutrition, and exercise all play critical roles in supporting neuroplasticity. Quality sleep helps consolidate memories. A balanced diet with minimal processed foods provides nutrients for brain health, and regular exercise increases blood flow to the brain and promotes the growth of new neurons. Okay, so that's a lot on neuroplasticity. Now let's look at some practical strategies to harness the power of neuroplasticity.
Okay, now this is the part that we're going to be building from.
And build mental strength. I'm going to give you 3 strategies. One is learning new skills. Challenging your brain with new activities stimulates the formation of new neural connections. And this could be learning something like a musical instrument, picking up a new language, or trying a new hobby. The second strategy is metacognition and mindfulness. Metacognition is thinking about thinking. It's a powerful tool for enhancing neuroplasticity and building mental strength. It involves becoming aware of your thought processes and learning to regulate them effectively. The third strategy is to engage in activities that challenge your brain, such as puzzles, strategy games, or brain training apps. Even though the clinical effectiveness of brain training games is debated, any activity that engages your mind can contribute to cognitive flexibility. So the message here is understanding neuroplasticity empowers you to take an active role in shaping your brain and, by extension, your mental strength and resilience. Every thought, action, and experience has the potential to rewire your brain. By engaging in activities that promote neuroplasticity, like practicing metacognition and cultivating a growth mindset, you can build a more resilient, adaptable brain.
All right. Hopefully, you were able to grab something out of that. I'm going to reiterate some of what she said. The first thing she talked about as relates to boost neuroplasticity is learning a new skill. Now, what research shows is that novel skill acquisition, it forces the brain to form a new synaptic pathway. Now, what I'm saying is not what I think. This is with clinical testings, and it's coming from neuroscience, and it's coming from neurobiology. Learning novel skills. And I don't know if you guys remember, we was talking, I think it was early this year or last year, and Spirit mentioned about learning new languages. I think this is great. Learning a new language is learning a new skill. And playing an instrument, learning to play an instrument, that's good for the brain. That's choreography. That's really good. That's the hippocampus. I think it is, because that's spatial body and space. So that's choreography. Video editing. All of you guys that are making content and editing video, you're doing a skill that creates for your brain a new neurological pathway. Every time you download an app and learn a new function on it, all of that is learning a new skill. Culinary skills, learning how to cook this or cook that or cook period. Martial arts, public speaking, training to speak publicly. That's a new skill. Crafting. And the reason why this works because it introduces a unfamiliar pattern to the brain. And that forces the brain to start its process of adaptation, which is going to make it then recruit certain parts of itself, the part that's responsible for coordination and memory, decision making, and all of those attention circuits are going to start going off because you're introducing an unfamiliar pattern. And now the brain must adapt. That adaptation is a form of its growth and a form of its advancement. It throws it into plasticity. Okay. And because you're doing this new skill, you end up with a higher memory retention, learning a new skill. See, when you do the same thing over and over and over again, you're not even really triggering the brain to act. It's like you're on autopilot because you've done it so much. You can walk there, go get it, drive there, and not even think because it's just programming. That is your enemy. That is your enemy. It's an enemy to your brain health. It's an enemy to brain health. Just doing that thing that anesthetizes you, that scrolling over and over on your phone. Funny thing after funny thing. Okay, there's a time and a place for that. But when you get an information coming across your news feed, something that you read, do you even read anymore? Or do you just scroll and watch videos? And if you can't skim it and understand it, you don't dive into it. See, that's somebody that's gonna be walking around here with dementia and next to off because you're not exercising your brain. Brain health is terribly important. Brain, muscle, and gut. As the older you get, these are things that are important. Muscle, so that's movement, that's walking, it's lightweight training. Gut, that belly, you can determine life expectancy by seeing how much you carrying around that gut. And brain health, these are the things that keep your quality of life great the older that you get. You need to stay walking, stay lightweight training. Make sure that you're careful with the gut and your red meat is limited. And also be careful about the breads and sweet drinks. And then brain health. And those things I mentioned actually support brain health. Okay. All right, so that's learning a new skill that boosts neuroplasticity. Number 2, metacognition and mindfulness. This is self-reflection and thought examination. Mindfulness increases that cortical thickness in the brain, particularly in the prefrontal cortex. I know it's hard to believe, but self-reflection and thought examination actually builds the brain. Yes. Mindful breathing, paying attention to your breathing, increases mindfulness. Sitting still and being aware of your body. That's what you call a body scan. That increases mindfulness and metacognition. Journaling, not the type of journaling where you're just venting, but actually journaling your thoughts and analysis about your day and what happened, not just venting. That kind of journaling where you just vent, it has its place. But we're talking about neuroplasticity. We're trying to change some brain. In order to change the brain, when our journaling has to be an analysis of what has occurred and what has happened. Let me tell y'all something else. Praying with emotional regulation. What are you saying, Reid? Now, I am an African Christian. So when it comes to mysticism and transcendence and the dance and the drum and all of that stuff, I am a yes all the day long. But you have to be able to also pray with reserve. And I do that a lot out here because we're on the main stage. When I pray on the main stage, y'all watch me do that. Y'all watch me be able to do prayer. And I be feeling the same thing I'm feeling when we're by ourselves. When we're by ourselves, we got the quickening and the speaking in tongues when it's just us. But I can also control that. It's called emotional regulation. The brain needs you to be able to control or manage your emotions and not your emotions managing you. I looked down in the chat and saw Joanne that since Reformation, you lost a lot of weight. We got to celebrate that. Courageous conversations, that's Joanne. We must celebrate that. She's extending her life. She is doing well by her body. We have to celebrate that she lost so much since Reformation. That's what it's about, reformation, the reform of your life. Yeah. Debbie D said, teach Dr. Reid, this is the best Sunday sharing mind, body, and spirit. Traditional Christianity doesn't. Yeah, that's by design because teaching this makes you powerful. But make sure you listen to last Sunday because that was the beginning of this. Hopefully DM Pair have that done this week. Maybe we do like last Sunday and today could be one, and then Wednesday because that was gratitude and neuroplasticity. So she may do it all as one series, but it's important. We're celebrating you, Joanne. That's an amazing feat. You're taking care of yourself. So the journaling where you are laying down your analysis and then also emotional regulation, prayer with emotional regulation, cognitive reframing exercises, being quiet intentionally, choosing silence, and to rest your sensory system, just disconnecting, paying attention to your thoughts and tracking them, noting the triggers, the distortions, and the responses. Can I say something about this? Because I don't think we do this enough personally. Where we pay a darn attention to our thoughts, track them, and note a trigger, note a distortion, and note your responses. I don't think we do that enough. Let me tell you, and the reason why I'm pausing to talk about this is because there's so many people I've worked with that just are totally disconnected from what's going on with them. And I've been around them enough to see you do this, you do that, and they don't even see that they act this way, respond this way, that they're triggered, and what they're saying happen is a distortion of the truth. That's the brain, you guys. That's all the brain. It don't mean the person got a bad heart. It don't mean their spirit terrible. That dome piece just ate up. It's ate the hell up. And I think as a practice, we all should pay attention to ourselves, to where we can see when we are in a distortion or that we're triggered. And pay attention to our responses, because sometimes our responses is paying attention to that. We realize, oh, I'm in a distortion. Oh, I am triggered. Oh, I feel deeply about this. And see, when you start mindful breathing and reframing cognitive exercises and journaling and things of that nature, you just get better at decision making. You end up with more emotional stability. Your executive function becomes better. You Change the way that you think so you don't go into default rumination. But see, when you are doing these things, you increase your emotional regulation pathways and your attention networks, and that rumination, you just go about it differently. All right, number 3, to boost or to trigger up neuroplasticity. Challenging activities. High challenge activities. High challenge activities. This is important for the hippocampus. When you take on high challenging activities, it activates neurogenesis in the hippocampus. Chess, Sudoku, Rubik's Cube, bridge, speed chess apps. The apps like Elevate, Lumosity, Peak, Cognifit, Neuronation. They sharpen speed, memory, and cognitive flexibility. Puzzles, jigsaw puzzles. I can't stand puzzles. Okay, and we ain't gonna be able to stand you in about 10 years because you're gonna be stupid to talk to. Logic grids, pattern recognition games. Also, challenging activities deal with the physical activities like rock climbing, boxing, Olympic lifting, yoga. Because see, it sort of forces the brain out of that predictability, and it gets the brain involved. And when you do the challenging physical exercises, that's that brain-body relationship that grows in that as well. It strengthens your problem-solving networks when you end with these puzzles and this chess and these brain apps. And it increases your processing speed and your cognitive endurance. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you don't want to hear me talk about this on a Sunday morning, but this is what you need to hear because you got a prophecy over your life. You got a dream and you got a vision, and you're not going to be able to come into that and stay with the ate-up brain and mind piece. You have to do some work intentionally and be insistent about it. All right. Let's look at number 4 because that takes us into the body movement. Because number 4 is movement that demands coordination. Movement that demands coordination. So this will go back to the choreography and the dance, especially a new dance if you already dance. Tennis, hand, eye, brain, body, coordination. This is great for the brain. Basketball drills, jump rope patterns, where you're changing up the patterns. Marco does that a lot. All of that, that's coordination, that's brain. Y'all see sometimes when these people, when they get up in age, and they toppling over. You ain't never been right. I used to take old people with me on places over, and old is relative. Because you can be 80 and not be old. So y'all can catch that. But excuse me, I'm so sorry. That's Lord, I got my greasy head on my camera. Yeah, they toppling over. The hippocampus is ate up. That spatial thing that Dr. Rachel mentioned is 8. So you need to do the movement that demands coordination because that enhances your motor cortex, the plasticity that happens there. And then you're also going to be giving yourself some positive dopamine hits and not the cheap ones that you get from scrolling or porn. Okay? All right, number 5. Have y'all got 1, 2, 3, 4? I ain't seen nobody listed like normally. Somebody normally do. Just cause you're getting older don't mean you got the decay. Just cause you're getting older don't mean you get dumb. That's not the natural cycle of life. That's the result of habits and choices that you made in your 50s and your 60s and your 70s. You got to stay in movement. I'm telling y'all, that's from being raised in the country around old people. The key is stay moving, stay working. Don't stop. Don't sit. I'm saying, you rest and enjoy your retirement. What I'm saying is you got to stay active and you got to still be involved in things that the brain benefits from. Thank you, Rashida. All right, so we got 1 through 4. We're about to do number 5, ain't we? All right. Social and relational intelligence activities. That's a little long. Social and relational intelligence activities. This is overlooked in neuroplasticity. Learning in groups, group discussions, group debates, listening to lectures. Well, I'm not that kind of learner. I'm a visual learner. I got that. But your brain need to be able to listen to somebody talking and learn something. So I don't want you to just be always trying to do it the way that you learn. That's easiest for you to learn. You can learn several different ways, and you need active listening practice. Sitting around in a circle and telling stories. Social and relational intelligence activity, that is. Sitting with someone and teaching them a new skill and how to operate on their app. That's social relational intelligence because you're communicating. This is key for your brain. I remember going to the rest home when I was a child. We would go every Saturday. Our Saturdays, we wake up cleaning it. By 2 o'clock, we got to go to the rest home to sing to all the people who was in the rest home and help them and push them down the hall just to do some movement, to talk to them. That was the main thing they wanted us to do, was to talk to them. That's that social and relational intelligence. Engaging somebody can lengthen their lifespan. That's how older people stay young, because either they have a good relationship with their younger daughter or their younger grandkids or just younger people. Being in that community. That's why right here I had Mother Pat to meet with the mothers, and they got on Zoom and engaged. I said, y'all need to be doing that every month or so, maybe every 2 weeks. I said, because the older you get, you can begin to deal with the loneliness because you've raised everybody. Everybody's going on and they go into their lives. People they're into their life. And sometimes they only come out to get what they can get from you to take back into their life to make it better. Ask me how I know. So engagement and being in a circle of conversation, this is part of your intelligence. It strengthens your neural circuits linked to empathy, memory, communication, adaptability. It improves verbal fluency. The more you talk, the better you get at talking. That's number 5. All right, number 6. I got to move because it's 9:13. Number 6, exposure to new environments. How many of you guys are enjoying this so far? And I know we've been doing optimization seeds, but I want us to do a neuroplasticity seed this morning. Everybody that is listening to me, a neuroplasticity Neuroplasticity seed. That's what we're going to be doing in just a few minutes. Let me finish doing this, but that's what we're going to do. Everybody here, $81.11. They 428 of you here. I am asking 100 of you to do $81.11. Larry, I've never given $81.11. Great. This is an opportunity for you to show up. $81.11 to support this platform. It's the least you can do with the information you're receiving this morning. So make that decision now. And then those of you that are showing at the high performer level, $211.11. Stakeholder level, $411.11. Shamako going to be calling those of you that do high performer and stakeholder, call you, pray with you, and give you the prophetic word that you're supposed to listen to over and over, so that when you have a situation like Dominique had this weekend, your prophecy will come up in your head and you'll know how to navigate in that space. Take a moment right now, make that decision. Those of you doing Super Seed, I will be speaking to you prophetically either here or you'll be receiving a text audio from me. Make sure you put your phone number in the memo section when you are doing your donations. And this is the way that you're able to donate. That you just saw over there on the right, go to the mbnnetwork.org and do it through PayPal right now. Your $81.11, $211.11, $411.11, or $711.11. And the reason why we have it tiered like that, because we're all at different places and spaces in our faith and in our finances. But everybody here has to do the same sacrifice. $81.11 may be a sacrifice for someone, a huge sacrifice. How we know? Because you count what's left. $711.11 may be the sacrifice that you're making this morning. How we know it's a sacrifice? Because we're counting what's left. It's not equal gifts. Some of us going to do an $81.11 gift, some do a $2.11 gift, but it's equal sacrifices. Okay, so we're all sacrificing at our level of our faith and at the level of our finances. And once you do that, you can go here and begin to do your donation. On the left, before we support the house, we feed the mouth. That's the Taruma. That's me. That's Dr. Larry Reid Ministries, INC. Both donations are tax deductible. So make sure you claim them on your taxes. And any numbers that you need, just hit us up. But we already registered, so they'll know who you're talking about, okay, when you report your stuff. All right, so we're at number 6. So you can go ahead and start doing your donations. Kendall will see it in the chat. He will highlight it, okay? Candace Johnson said, I work with Alzheimer patients twice a week in a group setting. We have the college students to volunteer who engage with them through talking, games, and music. So now we have a professional letting you know, confirming what I'm saying to you. It is extremely important. Oh, Jazz Nicole also became a patron. Thank you so very much for becoming, not a patron, a member here on YouTube, which is important. Because you know I go over there to talk. I got something to tell y'all too that I didn't post online. All righty. Thank you. Practical strategies is for neuroplasticity. Learning new skills. 2, metacognition and mindfulness. 3, challenging activities. 4, movement that demands coordination. 5, social and relational intelligence activities. All right, I'm about to go to 6, 7, and 8. Well, you can go ahead now and begin to sow your seed. And let me say this. This is a neuroplasticity seed. So your actions behind it is probably going to be one of these 8 that you're going to be doing to promote neuroplasticity. Okay. All right. Make sure you star anyone that lets us know what seed they gave Kendall so that I can recognize it after I finish teaching on this. And we're going to watch that video again because after me talking about it, both videos, after me talking about it, you're going to hear the information differently. So I'm going to play it again in a few minutes. Number 6, exposure to new environments. God, that's why I be trying to get Ethelene Fleming Reid Come on, when I tell you, my mama is a bona fide prophet and a terribly spiritual woman. It's just in the air around her. Oh, but she's so stubborn and stuck in her ways. And I just know if I get her to travel to a spiritual place like Ghana or Dubai in the desert, I know it's going to change her forever and for the better, especially after having a cancer bout and coming through that, and then you giving yourself an entirely different experience you never had before. I just feel like if her and my daddy went, it would just give them a new lease on life and just encourage them to, I think it would just stir them up to live more and intentionally and enjoy their life now. Exposing yourself to a new environment is a psychological, mental, emotional, and spiritual gift to yourself. Oh, yes, it is. Traveling is a spiritual exercise. And it's just as important as prayer. Prayer is a spiritual exercise. Meditation is a spiritual exercise. Traveling is too. Communication is too. Spiritual exercise. And the benefit of the dome piece, bruh. Yes, now I feel like it would do that for both our parents. Right, Tamara, I know you got that, been a travel agent. So now you understand the prophetic aspect of your business. Is to make sure that people are having this spiritual experience called traveling. And that they know the benefits, because a lot of people who well traveled, but they're not expanded in their consciousness, because when they travel, they didn't travel with the intent of discovery and engagement. When you travel, you must, when you go to that area, learn that area, eat the food of that area, talk to the elders and sages of that area, understand the history behind it, be intentional. Because traveling is a spiritual exercise. Tamara, this is, add this to what you do and teach the people. They need to travel with purpose, right, and intentionality. Yeah. But we got an 80-something-year-old mother that is in here who is open to new things. And we got some 70. Mother Diane looked like a New York biker chick when she came to Reformation. This is not an age thing. This is a mindset. This is a brain thing. And remember this, the brain remembers the strain, and neuroplasticity can go either way. So the strain could be the trauma and what you went through that was painful. And the strain can also be the learning the new skill, the traveling with intention, doing something that normally would scare you. It's a benefit to you. Look, Vonda said, our 80-something-year mother said she's excited to leave America. Wow. Yeah, the brain remembers the strain. It does. So you need to strategically strain it. Okay? So exposure to new environments, traveling, taking a new route home. Try that for the brain. Working from a new location. Oh, I have had to do that several times. It was a brain health thing. Okay, I can't sit here in the studio and do this for another 3 months. I've been doing it for 3-4 months straight. Let me go somewhere else and then do the same job, but from a different space. Exposure to new environments. Rearranging your space. Have y'all noticed every once in a while, Spirit will have us to clean out our closet and change our spread color and the way that our room is or something? I feel my attire changing. My attire has been changing. I mean, I still got the stuff where I can, razzle dazzle. I can do razzle dazzle. But I'm telling y'all, every day I'm just slipping on something. I need this just feel comfortable. And I got so much African garb. They look like dresses. And when I'm overseas, I wear that a lot. But shoot, I've been in the mood. I'm like, that's what I want to wear every day here. I used to wear the African attire every day. And I feel myself sort of moving back into a little bit of that. So rearranging your space, visiting museums, and just reading the card up under what you're looking at, taking your time, soaking it all in, exposing yourself to a new environment. Trying new foods. Well, I wish I can text. Well, Marco's in here, and that darn Philip ain't living my life. Let's sprinkle something on that's different. It's either the same darn way. Who gets a cheeseburger and then say little cheese, only ketchup? I said, why are you eating like a toddler, Philip? What is you doing? This doesn't make any sense. You went this high-end restaurant and you want chicken fingers? See, I'm not gonna wear the thing. He get it's chicken Alfredo and it has tomatoes in it and broccoli. Okay, I don't like that Alfredo sauce. Just give me a little bit of Alfredo sauce, and can you just take out the broccoli and take out? Well, why don't you just ask them to see if they got some packs of oodles and noodles in the back? Just bring that to the table, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to take this high-end meal and bring it down to the ghetto. What that girl say, Coach Storm, a low vibrational plate. Try new foods. What the hell? It ain't gonna kill you. At the worst, you don't like it. Mm-hmm. And what is the benefit, Larry? Adaptive flexibility in the brain. It breaks habitual mental loops, exposing to new environments. It also opens you up to diversity. It's almost like diversity training, exposure to the new environment. And travel does that because you meet different people, and everybody you meet is an expression of yourself and is the face of God. So meeting new people is meeting new aspects of God, and you should embrace that. All right. Thank you for donating. I'm about to recognize each of them candles, starring them for me. We need 100 people to do $81.11 to support us, this Black business. Somebody sent me something I haven't verified and said that people done more shopping today than they did last year. I mean, over this season, $9 million more, nine something like that. But I haven't verified, so let me not even say that. But we were supposed to make sure we patronize Black business. I love the way you said that. Intentionally sophisticate your plate. I'm not eating no tomatoes, even if Jesus made them. Y'all see? Now y'all see, right? Who is this here? Have I ever prophesied to you before? I'm going to enjoy that. Yeah, they changed y'all names. So it's probably somebody I know. It's probably one of the Celestial Circle. All right, 181.11. And then I'm asking for 11 high performers, 11 stakeholders, and 7 superseders. So Kendall, keep numbers so when it's time for that, I'll know. That is my ask. That is what I say. That is what I pray. That is what I create in this moment. I create a $100,000 Sunday morning with my mouth. I create it. and that'll do well. When I go back to Dubai, stop through Ghana and grab some more vehicles for the business. MBN Transport and Tours there. We just put some pillars down last week. We're always doing something. Pillars for the demarcation of the farm, MBN Farms. Had to do that. And there's a whole truckload of those pillars. And let's put around the thing. And of course, we were coming at NGO in Ghana, a non-governmental agency operation. And that means we work with the government to support Ghanaians, and they're actually a partner with us to where we're not doing everything. And right now, we're doing everything off your donations, but we'll be able to get into some monies because the next thing that we're going to be doing in Ghana, while all of these things we've started up are growing, we're going to be going into sponsoring the education of Ghanaians, and starting with women. But we're going to be covering that because ultimately we're going to have a school and a hospital. But this is like step one towards that, because this is what God said to do. It's not my idea at all. Although I love Ghana and I love Dubai, I also love being right here in my room. So this is not just some idea. This is an assignment, not an idea. It's an assignment. Okay. All right, so let me finish now. Exactly, T. Gatlin. See, this is what I'm saying. I have a goal that I see something. I see something. Okay, let me get back. So that's number 6. We got 2 more. We're talking about initiating or triggering up or boosting neuroplasticity. So when you do your seed this morning, a neuroplasticity seed, you're going to have to go back to these 8 and see what are you going to begin to implement. All right, number 7 and number 8. Number 7 is creative processing. So this is important, and you probably already know about this. Finger painting, songwriting, singing. All of you that used to say, I don't sing no more, that part of your brain died. That's what you're telling me. I used to sing in the choir. Ooh, we had a great time. We used to sing on the road with Dr. Reid. They always used to sing on praise and worship, and you don't do it no more, do you? No, I don't do it no more. That part of your brain is dying. I just need to say it like that so you get it. The old saints used to say, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. But they're talking about the talent. But I'm talking about the benefits from operating in the talent. That's what you're going to lose, and you can't afford to lose that because that's an operation in your brain. So you need to start it back. My brain died when it comes to playing the piano, which is why I bought one, but I still bought it and didn't even really do like I need to do. It wasn't until like the last year or two, really last 2, maybe 2.5 years, I'll go out there and play, and I can remember. Because when I got back, I tell you guys, it was like, oh my God, I don't remember how to do this. My fingers didn't remember how to move. It was my brain. My brain. You used to be able to sing. Well, I was an alto, but I'm not no more because the brain ain't been worked. So now you can't get up into them alto notes, but you can. Trigger all of that back up and get back to that. So when you do your neuroplasticity seed, I don't want you just giving MBN Network your money, although I'm asking you to do that, and there's benefits for that. But I want you to, faith without works is dead. Your first working is the seed because of the word of faith that I've taught this morning. So that word of faith needs a work. The first work is the seed. The second work, you're going to have to choose one of these 8. You should go ahead and learn that new language. You should go ahead and take up piano lessons. You should go ahead and take up guitar lessons. Go ahead right now, download the app, start learning a new language. Now, you don't have any excuse. Spirit is telling me to tell you to get your brain ready for the future. Put in the chat, I must get my brain ready for the future. I must get my brain ready for the future. I don't mind that. I play by ear and by air, and I play old school. But I would love to learn how to do some of the new school stuff, just for my brain to expand. Thank you. Start around the house. You need to. Got to get your brain ready for the future. Okay. Photography, poetry, acting, role play, creative processing, digital art. See, that encourages, well, rather strengthens the associative networks in the brain to connect unrelated ideas, to harmonize them in the brain. I've had people ask me about, Larry, how did you come up with that song? And this part switches, then you go to this and that changes. How you come up? My brain connecting unrelated ideas into a beautiful collage that becomes something amazing. Separate, it looks like it's crazy, but together it makes something amazing. That's the creative processing of the brain. Last one, number 8, it's 9:35. Last one, number 8. Focused reading and deep learning. Here we go. This is where everybody gets sleep and go to sleep. They say, they, meaning whiteness, says, not white skin, whiteness. So that means it can be said by black skin or white skin, red skin, yellow skin, how you want to put it, person. Because whiteness is a socio-political thought system that erases and dominates. And that shows up here in America a lot, where racism reigns and rules and abides with us. Focused reading and deep learning, they say, if you want to hide something from a black person, that's what whiteness is. If you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book, because they won't read it. Well, there's truth to that, and the truth that is in it is because it was programmed to be, because they didn't let us read and didn't want us to read and would beat us if we knew. So we had to play stupid, like we couldn't read or write or do math, and we could, but we had to play like we didn't, because when we could, then that made us a threat to the rest, and so the master would, be harder on us and use us as an example for discipline. Thank God for audiobooks, but pick up your book, read the letters, and turn the page with your fingers. That could help you focus more in the reading. And this is another thing for deep learners and focused readers. Reading something outside of your normal genre. This is key. Let me tell you this. When I read the books for school, when I used to read the books for there's a particular degree, and I read quick and fast, but I was used to reading to a certain material. So then when I was for that other master's, and I was doing all that reading, and especially the Freudian, it started with him and then went through all these people. You should have seen me reading. It's like, because it wasn't a Christian book. Are you hearing me? Because it wasn't the Bible. There's a certain genre of reading that I was, but when I started going to that college for that degree, my brain went through a change because this focus reading, the material was different, the genre was different. So those of you that are focus readers and deep learners, try reading something else that's outside and beyond what you normally will read, and see if you can focus and lock into that you're reading. That's a brain exercise. Studying philosophy, science, and history, that is different on your brain than you studying music, because that's more creative and artistic. But philosophy, science, history, that data, that information, and reading that and be able to focus on it, that's a brain exercise. Learning astrology and reading on African spirituality and different languages, this deepens your learning and your focus reading ability. Numerology, just reading that information. Gematria, learning what values go with what letters and what letters go with what values, and what is a Scorpio. That's a water sign, or Pisces a water sign too, and a Cancer. Okay, I got that. And how the triangle look for the water signs? Is the triangle upside down with a line through it, or is it facing up with a line through it? Which one is that? All of that deepens your learning and your ability to focus when you're reading. It enhances your ability to recognize patterns, and it builds, watch this, long-term cognitive scaffolding. So dementia, Alzheimer's, not going to be your portion if you're watching your sugar intake and you're also doing brain exercises. You're never going to have that happen to you. Never going to have that happen to you if you are doing that. Okay, so the optimization of the brain and the mind, this conversation about neuroplasticity, has been powerful. And I know DM Pear is going to make an amazing read for us that we can review this. And it's going to be posted in Patreon. I want to encourage everybody to become a part of our Patreon, patreon.com/LarryReidLive. So you can get introduced to our world, our spiritual world, our spiritual community, and get introduced to other things that we do as a community. And you may have been watching for a while, already in Patreon, already supporting regularly, and you hear me talk about the Celestial Circle. Well, that is the premier partnership between me and you, and what's on my life and what's on yours. And to become a Celestial Circle member, it's a one-time initial donation of the year, the dollar amount of the year that we're in. We're in 2025. And maybe this month you've already given, a few $100s or over $1,000. Well, what we're doing this month, if you want to become a Celestial Circle member, you can tally up all of what you've done since November the 1st. And the difference you can send into the ministry. And today is the last day. You can send into the ministry the difference today. And you can become a Celestial Circle member. So, okay, Dr. Reid, I want to do that, but I don't have the $2,025 today. Give me a few weeks or a couple of months, but that's fine. If you want to do that, go to the mbnnetwork.org, click Celestial Circle, and join. You can do the $2,025 seed, and it done through, I don't know the name of it, Afterpay. It's like a pay now. We get it now. You can pay it over a period of time. So you can do that there. If you are doing the difference of the 2025, you first need to email Mark, M-A-R-C, at the mbnnetwork.org. So it can give you a code. So when you go to the site, you can put that code in and it will subtract from $2,025, whatever the difference is, so that you can then become a part of the Celestial Circle. I was just sent a long list of Celestial Circle people that have been approved. I have not sent you the link. I'm sending you the link today. When I sign off, Shamako, I'm going to need you to retext me that list. I'm going to send the link to you today. Or did I already do it? Now it's coming to my mind like I already did it. I don't think I did. Nope. So send me that list, and I'm sending you the link to become a part today, since you've done all your paperwork and your induction and all of that kind of going on, okay? So I'm going to do that today, all right? All right, it's 9:44 a.m. I know that's right. That can happen right here. And it's destined to happen over and over, because me as the leader of it, I've done that many, many times in other ministries. So that's our destiny. She said, you saw into my future. That's my next. I know that's right. All right, so let me recognize those of you that have donated to the MBN Network Global. All right, Sound Prophet 21, thank you so much for your donation and supporting. He was, and according to my list, the very first one to do the partner seed. So 99 more of you can do the 8111 seed. Jenna, thank you so much for your Taruma and your neuroplasticity seed. That's another partner. High performer, Shamako going to be calling the Batsons on tomorrow, giving you the prophetic word. Lashika, thank you. Another partner seed, neuroplasticity seed song. Which one of these 8 you're going to be doing, Lashika, you're going to commit to? Is it the singing? Marie Williams, 8111 neuroplasticity song with intention and consistency in mind, body, and spirit. Marie, which one of these 8 you're going to be doing? I want to know. Dorothy Curtis, another partner. She partnered with us. So we just have 90 something more to go. Thank you so very much. Rhonda Jones, high performer seed. Shamako's going to be calling you. Thank you so much. Trenton, done the super seed. I get to speak the prophetic word to you. I'm excited about that. Dominique Jones, the Jones family. I get to speak the prophetic word. Thank you for this. That's a blessing to Ruma. Thank you so very much. All right. High performer Latina, Shamako is going to be calling you tomorrow with the prophetic word. Lori Scott, thank you so much for partnering with us. Carrie, done this above stakeholder. Thank you so much, Carrie Jones. Shamako is going to be calling you tomorrow, which I'm sure y'all talk anyway. But not him prophesying to you. Probably you prophesying to him back before. Ophelia, thank you so very much for becoming a partner this morning with this moment. Thank you so very much. Mother Ivory, how are you? Thank you so much for your partner seed. Your high performer, Monica Kiono, Shamaka going to be calling you on tomorrow. God bless you. Lahoma, I get to speak prophetically to, that's the high performer seed. Thank you, Lahoma, for high performer seed. Shamako's going to be calling you, speaking the prophetic word. Lawana Jones did a super seed. Thank you so very much, Lawana Jones, and congratulations on all of your new things that you are doing. I can't wait to hear from you on the AI panel at Reformation. Y'all remember Reformation is July the 24th through the 26th. Of course, some of us, it starts on that Thursday. But it's going to be an amazing learning event. If you're a business owner, you have a brand and a business you want to take global, you need to come. You need to be there. You need to be there. High performer, Shamako is going to be calling you tomorrow. Erica Counts, move or be moved. Shamako, thank you for sowing the partnership seed. Thank you. Baby girl always, who's that super seed? Yeah, I was trying to figure out who you were earlier. I'll be sending you the prophetic word. What is your name? I probably can do yours before I leave. Vin Hall, thank you so very much for partnership seed. Christian Patton, partnership seed, thank you. Linda Pro, partnership seed, thank you. Jenna, partnership seed, thank you so very much. DeQuincy, a partnership seed. Now we out of them 90s now, we in the 80s. Thank you so very much. Julie Alexander, how are you doing? Partner seed sown, thank you so very much. Chi, partner seed sown, thank you. You will. Oh, just what you telling me what you're gonna do. Journal, research, practice, being spiritual. Say, good. I want to know which of these 8 you guys are going to be doing. Hey there, Mother Irene Simmons. Thank you so very much. So very much for your partnership seed. Ron Coley, that's my sister's husband, is doing the partnership seed. Thank you. See y'all Reformation. Dominique Jones, super seed. I'll be sending you the prophetic word. Oh, I already said that. How did that? Oh, okay, I'm done. I'm looking at all super seeds now. 1, 2, 3, 7, 6, 5, 4. We need 4 more super seeders. 4 more super seeds. All right, somebody said check my text. Tony Gibson. Whoa! Is that right? Are you sure? Is that right? So Tony Gibson is the person that I was saying I prophesy to now. But is this not Miss Pat? Check the number you sent me. While I'm waiting for Miss Pat to verify that, Tony said it's right. Wait a minute now. Tony Gibson, thank you so much. And make sure that she gets to go into that Celestial Circle. We got to do the review for that. And be in that, she'll be in the first 6 weeks. 7 weeks. First 7 weeks of the 12 weeks of coaching. Let's celebrate this seed of $7,711 this morning, you guys. Calling it in. Y'all watch this. Y'all watch me call. I've been declaring and decreeing certain numbers because the Spirit told me. I said this many this many that. Decreeing a thing to come forth. $7,711 seed this morning. Let's celebrate that. Because she did not have to give it. She didn't have to be on the financial wellness plan. And let me explain it for those of you that do not know what it is. 2 plans we put you on in Patreon when you first come in will be introduced to you. It's the financial wellness plan and the Build Your Immune System Health and Wellness Challenge. We embrace a financial and physical way of life as a fitness in this community. That's at the base. That's the basic. Anybody in here that's talking about they've been in here years, they practice the financial wellness plan and the Build Your Immune System Health and Wellness Lifestyle Plan as a lifestyle. We embrace financial and physical fitness as a lifestyle. I repeat, we embrace financial and physical fitness as a lifestyle. Basic. What is the financial wellness plan? Every time, let's suppose I make $1,000 a week. The moment that $1,000 hit, 2.5% I separate from my personal profit, my priest who is giving their life to the work of the ministry. That's the first thing I do. You got to be a supervising priest and prophet, somebody you can look up to and admire who also has a ministry, because they have to be a priest. That's number one. They have to be worthy priests to receive the tithe. 2.5%. If I made $1,000, it's $25. Then I do my tithe. I made $1,000, so that's $100, and I put that into the ministry. Y'all got that? Then the next thing I do, the financial wellness plan, I then tithe again, but this time to my accounts. And I have 3 accounts, so I take that $100 and split it up by 3. One account I put it in. That's the account that I always do my tipping, the poor and stranger. You're supposed to support the poor and stranger. That's right. The moment you get paid, it's your supervising priest and prophet first. The house, you're sustaining him and his house and the work they're doing in the earth that is spiritual and breathed by God. See, a lot of people aren't into that more than they are into getting paid and running to the store to be a consumer. But when we get paid, we do the giver, the work of the giver and the investor. Because the seed sower and the investor is the same person. The person that consumes and that shops and that buys and is not a giver. There's people who hoard up things for themselves, and their heaven is going to be here. That's just it. That is what they got. But the moment we get paid, we do 2.5%, $1,000, $25. So I got $100 I'm gonna put into the ministry, and then I'm put into the life of my prophet. Now I'm about to go over here and do my work for myself. Okay, let me do this 100 to myself, split it up, poor and stranger account, my vacation account, that's for spiritual R&R, and my investment. Well, Larry, my company I work for invests my money. I ain't asked that. You need to invest by your own finger, your own hand. So that's the financial wellness plan. So that's what we teach here, and that's what we do. Everybody does that. Now, I'm not crazy. So everybody that's watching me that's a patron may not do that. But so let's still circle. These people are in that covenant with me. So if you're that person and you want to get in covenant, that you can do that. And so we want to celebrate Miss Gibson for, trusting us with the principle you're working. You're working the principle of teruma and tithing and giving and reciprocity. You're working it through the MBN network. You can choose other places, but you chose here. So thank you for that. And I'm about to minister to you. So let me go ahead and sign off for Facebook. We're just going to be on YouTube. All right. If you want to continue to watch, come on over there to YouTube. I'm about to sign y'all off. How I do that? Right here. Bye. Okay. So let me do this. I might be able to do all four, but I don't want to go over. Today's date is Sunday, November the 30th of 2025. Thanks so much, Tony Gibson, for your donation to the MBN network. This is the word of the Lord to you. And I hear in my ear a brand new year and a brand new beginning. And this is not just financial, but this is psychological. Psychologically, you're moving into a distant future quickly. Spirit says that you're setting yourself up for what is to be and what has to happen. And I see a reward and a recognition that is coming because I'm looking at your name placed on looks like a plaque. And I hear the Spirit say, Larry, let her know that it's only up, up, up from here in the next coming year. 2026 for you is going to be the year of the unfolding and the undoing. Tony Gibson, remember this, that Spirit says your year 2026 is the year of the unfolding, also the uncovering. I hear Spirit say to me that you are going to usher yourself into a new world and a new actuality, a new reality. And the information that your fingers are going to be able to grasp and get is going to bring you into amazing opportunities. I see something in the word of investment that is going to be opening up for you. And this is an acquisition. This is an acquisition. This is a property acquisition. And I see where the favor of God is upon you to get it, to build it, to do it. And I also see where an opportunity to take over. This looks like a business that is already in operation. But I see you taking it over. It's falling in your lap. And Spirit says, I'm going to remember you. I remember every prayer that you've prayed concerning the family. And it is going to be done. You're walking out the last bit of this process before you come to a clearing. And that's the word of the Lord to you, Tony Gibson. The words of God to you. The words of God. All right. So I'm sending this to you, Miss Pat, Mother Pat, and then you can send directly to her. All right. All right. It's 9:59, so I'm ending on time. Let me look. I have Lawana Jones, Trenton Drayton, and Christopher and Dominique Jones. Okay, I'll probably just sit right here and do these. Thank you, Granville, for helping reiterate what's said prophetically. The uncovering, I forgot the other you undoing, I was trying to repeat it, but I couldn't remember it. I'm glad you put it in writing. Thank you, Sandra Lawson, for a high performer. Shamaka is going to be calling you, speaking the prophetic word to you. Thank you, Kendall, for your partner seed. DTS Capricorn, thank you for your seed. Thank you, Tamara, for your partner seed. Kimberly, Bill's partner seed. Terrell, partner seed. Thank you. Sheba Makita, partner seed. Thank you. Nikki Ojo, 8111 partner seed. Thank you. I see. All right, let me I might can get some more. It's 10 o'clock, so I know some of y'all gotta go. Why ain't this working? Today's date is Sunday, November the 30th, 2025. Thanks so much, Christopher and Dominique, for your donation to the MBN network. And I'm entering into a world, and this world that I'm entering into is a very, very active spiritually place. And the world that I'm entering into, I step with my right foot first. And when I got in there, everything is moving around. Spirit says that this is going to be the climate and the world that your family is going to be sitting in for 90 days. A world of a lot of activity. This is happening while that is happening. And then this over here is occurring too. I got to fix this and deal with this. And then over here, I got to have a conversation. And this is something that you guys are going to be experiencing personally and then also as a couple, to where it's going to be one convo after the next, one occurrence after the next, one strategy, movement, masterful movement after the next. I hear Spirit says that you're going to have to do some things under the cover of the night, to where you're going to have to move in privacy and in stealth mode in order to end up where you want to end up with the occurrence that you want to occur. You're going to have to move what someone else would call sneaky, but Spirit said it's just stealth mode and it's wisdom. And I also see where you're going to have to get something done through a borrowed hand. You're going to have to borrow a hand and borrow somebody's accessibility or ability to do something that you need done. Spirit says, communicate with clarity and make sure that you say what can be resaid. I also see where betrayal. Why am I looking so far down into your life? I need to go to the next thing. But I'm looking at a betrayal also that's going to show up. But let me say this to you, and I wrote this down the other day. I'm going to see if I can find it right quick, because the Spirit said this to me about betrayal. Because I see a betrayal that is coming up. And why can't I find the note? Let me see. I'm going to find it quickly. Here you go. Betrayal is the heat source that forges change agents into who they must become. You get shaped into another person when someone betrays you. And the person that you become is the person that you need to be for the fruition of your fantastic future. So I speak and I say that you as a family are coming into the full manifestation of the prophetic example, the teaching prophetic example that you're meant to be as a collective. And that is the words of God to you on today. All right. Let's see, 11:30. Let me send this to, oh no, I can send it straight down. I'm going to send it to you, Dominique, and you just, oh no, I see your new number, Chris. I thought I didn't put it in here. So I sent it to both of you. All right. Thank you, William Jones, for your partner seed. Thank you, Nathan Locklear and Crystal, for your partner seed. Let's see. Today's date is November the 30th of 2025. Trenton Spirit says to begin to try your hand at things that you have not tried in a while, especially those things that are based in creativity and based in the coordination of certain skills, 2 or more skills for one sitting and one session. Spirit says to involve yourself in those things that you would call difficult to do. And Spirit says that this is going to open you up in a new way. You are healing quickly. You are repairing from what was very quickly. And Spirit says, as a result, you're going to have these bouts and times where it seems like, okay, I just want something to do, because you have literally cleared out your life. Be selective when it comes to the way that you have your pastimes, because you are, and let me say it like this, you are a great catch for a needy, fractured soul in need that hasn't actualized. And you're going to understand what I'm saying as I speak more. You have been used for security several times. So as a great catch, you got to be hard to get to. But that does not mean that your life has to be boring and you have to twiddle your fingers. Just be selective. I feel in my spirit to tell you, enjoy your friendship and enjoy your friends. Make new friends and enjoy your friends. Make new friends and enjoy your friends. And this is a vital posture, position, and place for you to be in with friends, enjoying life before you go into anything else again. And when I said go into anything else again, I saw you plucked up and moved. Spirit says to live your life loosely and freely so that at any time on a whim, you can pick up and go. Do not hammer down the stakes because you are in transit, except the Spirit of God. And that's the words of God to you, Trent. All right. Trent, 11:30:25. Okay. I think I got two numbers for Trent. I sent it to the green one. Today's date is November the 30th of 2025. Thanks so much, Lowana, for your donation to the MBN network. And I hear the word winning and winner and winning. Spirit says that in the turn of events where there is any competition and anyone that is running after the same thing, Spirit says you need to know you always will win and you will always come out on top. You have never been defeated. You've been directed, and you will continue to be directed in your life over and over to the deal of the year, the table you will put your feet up under. You will walk away with the deal. And I see this deal not just for you, but I see the deal for others. You getting access, you acquiring is going to be a blessing to others. And I see where the Spirit is going to lead you to make a financial switch. I don't know how many properties you own, but I see something being, you either pulling something out or you liquidating the whole thing to do something different. And this is going to be a new take on that is like an investment because it's going to create such a yield. So I want to encourage you to go ahead on and do what is in your mind that deals with moving lump sum of money, putting lump sum of money in motion that's connected to something, some tool. It could be a house, it can be a portfolio, it can be a money market account, a CD. But it's like you tapping into something and moving and doing something differently. I encourage you to do that. The Spirit is willing it. You're in the intelligence and the mind of God to make some money moves and money change. And that is also occurring in your spirit. And I'm seeing something rise up out of your abdomen area. Two things. One thing I'm pulling out and I'm putting something in. This is what the Spirit is letting me know. The pull out is a change in diet and digestion. You have to promote digestion, eat to promote digestion. And another thing is I'm pulling out of you the drawback because there's a drawback in you when it comes to showing up fully in the space that you should show up in as you are. Comfortably embrace your leadership. Comfortably embrace it. Not just when they give you opportunities, somebody say that I need you to do this or I want you to do that. I want you to be insertive in this season because that is going to teach you a new skill in how you present and show up in a room and in a space. All right. These are the words of God to you and the sights that I saw on your behalf. All right. Luana Jones, 11:30:25. All right, you guys, we are complete. and we're about to go forward. I know some of you probably going to go to brunch or go out to eat or something. Enjoy yourself and have a great time. It was my pleasure ministering to you, Trenton, ministering to all of you. Thank you, Gretchen, for your donation. Thank you also, Sandrania Taylor, for your donation as well. I see it. Okay. All right. God bless you. I'll see you later. This was great. We'll see where we're going to go for December, if we're still sticking with neuroplasticity or not. I don't know. I'm open. I don't know nothing no more than you guys. Just listen to what the Spirit's saying. Go with that. I hope it makes sense in the end. All right. God bless you. Did you enjoy the conversation neuroplasticity? Do you have something to study? You do. You got something to study. Quite a bit to study, actually. Have an amazing Sunday. Make sure you smile all day long. Enjoy yourself. You absolutely got a reason to smile. I'm going to play that song about smile. And thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see you Tuesday morning for prayer. We're going to pray first thing in the morning. We're getting right back on that horse and getting at it. All right. See you later. Bye. Oh, become a part of Patreon. Watch this.
Looking for a vibrant community where faith meets empowerment? Welcome to the LRL community on Patreon. Here you'll gain access to our financial wellness plan to level up your money game and build your immune system, health and wellness lifestyle plan to keep your health in check. But that's not all. With the groundbreaking AIR project, we're creating jobs in Africa beginning in Ghana. Plus, you'll unlock insider tips from senior executives across industries. And the best part? Be part of daily prayers, weekly coaching sessions with Dr. Larry Reid himself, and so much more. It's time to connect, grow, and thrive. Get the apps, grab the merch, and join us at patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Let's build something amazing together. The LRL community is waiting for you.
what they have to say.